This is called factoring trinomials. And if you look, there's 1, 2, 3 terms here, and that's a trinomial. Tri meaning 3 terms. Also notice that it goes p squared, p, and then no p. And it's the letter is going to change. It doesn't really matter what the letter is, but this is our format. It's going to be something squared, and then something not squared, and then it's going to be missing here. These are special trinomials. They're ones we actually use a lot in math and in algebra, just specifically. But we can factor these in a fairly easy and specific way. And to do that, the first thing we need to do is look at this last number. So it's the one that does not have a variable on it. And what I'm going to do is write down every possible combination of numbers I can multiply and get 11. We don't want decimals or fractions, so just whole numbers. So that would be like 1 times 11. 1 times 11 will make 11. And then, well, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like none of those work. That's the only thing that will multiply to make 11 is 1 times 11. Now, these are going to be my factors as long as 1 plus 11 makes this middle number right here, which is 12. Well, 1 plus 11 does make 12, so good. These two numbers are going to be my factors. Now, to write this, you take your variable, so in this case, p, and there's always going to be two sets of parentheses, and they're going to start with whatever the variable is. So I got two sets of parentheses. I'm going to start with a p and a p. Both of these were positive, so it's going to be plus and plus, and then we're going to put our numbers, so 1 and 11 that we got right here. The order technically doesn't matter. You could put the 11 here and the 1 here, but I always do the smallest number first. Now, sometimes this can be more difficult or, well, it can't really be much easier than that. But it's going to be based on the numbers they give you. So, for instance, we had 11. There's only one thing that makes 11, but it's possible maybe we had, a big number there, and there would be a lot of different possibilities, and then we'd have to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what those possibilities are. Same thing here. We have 2. Well, what two numbers can I multiply to make 2? They'd be 1 and 2, and they would add together to be 3. It's really simple. I'm trying to find one that's a little more difficult. Here we go. All right, so you can see we switched to ends. That's fine. It does the squared, does the single, and then it's missing one. We're going to take our last number, 24, and we're going to write out all the possible combinations of 24. And again, you can do this with the calculator. So if you don't know if something multiplies to make 24, take the calculator and divide. I know 1 times 24, you can always have 1 in the number. 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, 5 won't multiply to make 24. When I get to 6, I've already used 6, so I can just quit. So these are the 4 possible combinations to make 24. If you didn't know that, you could do 24 divided by 2 in the calculator, and it will tell you 12. 24 divided by 3 will give you 8. 24 divided by 4 will give you 6. All right, so then we have to add these. And we're looking for it to make this middle number of 11 right here. So 1 plus 24 makes 25, so that doesn't work. 2 plus 12 makes 14, and that doesn't work. 3 plus 8, that makes 11. Oh, that's the number we wanted. So my factors are going to be 3 and 8. So I'm going to make 2 sets of parentheses. We're going to put whatever our variable is, in this case, n. Both these were positive, so we're going to put plus and plus. And then our two numbers, 3 and 8. So there is my answer. N plus 3 times n plus 8. If you want to check them, you can distribute like we did in the past. I can do n times 8, that gives me n squared plus 8n. 3 times n would be 3n, and then 3 times 8 would be 24. And these two middle ones will combine, so I have n squared plus 11n plus 24. And if you look, that's what I started with. So I can always check and make sure my factors are right by distributing and seeing if I get my original problem. But this right here, this is my answer, and that's what I'm going to put in the computer. Scroll. That's the same problem. I don't want to do that again. That's the same problem. There's not a lot of these. Still the same problem. All right, let's see if we enter it, if maybe we can get a new one. There we go. All right, and good. This one's got a minus. Okay, same thing. We got our number or our letter squared, our letter, and then no letter. We're going to take the last term. Now, notice this is a negative 36. All right, so that's going to make a difference. So we're going to list all the numbers that we can multiply to make negative 36. Well, 1 and 36. If I multiply 1 times 36, I'm going to get 36, but I'm going to get a positive one. But for right now, I'm just going to worry about the actual numbers. I got 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, 5 won't work, 6 and 6. Okay, so there's the same term. So the next one would be 7, and we've already used 6. So can't have any more. That's it. That's all my factors. Now, in order to multiply, though, and make a negative 36, one of the numbers has to be negative. So I'm just going to make this first row negative and try them. And I'm going to add all of them. So negative 1 plus 36 makes 35. So nope. Negative 2 plus 18 makes 16. So nope. Negative 3 plus 12 makes 9. So nope. Negative 4 plus 9 makes 5. Well, wait a minute. I want 5, but I want a negative 5 because it has a minus sign on it. I didn't get a negative 5. I got a positive 5. So if my number is wrong, or my number is right, sorry, but the sign is wrong, then I need to switch these. All right. Positive 4 plus negative 9 makes negative 5, and that is my middle term. Okay, so to answer this, we're going to do two sets of parentheses. We're going to put our variable, which is h and h. And the 4 is positive, so I'm going to put plus 4. But my 9 had to be negative. So I'm going to put minus because of the negative 9. And there's my factors. Okay, so let's do h plus 4, h minus 9. All right, I'm going to do one more of these, but basically after that, it's all the same. All right, we're going to take our last number, which is negative 22. We're going to break it down. Let's not do negatives yet. So 1 times 22, 2 times 11, 3 won't work, 4 won't work, 5 won't work, 6 won't work, 7 won't work, 8 won't work, 9 won't work, 10 won't work, and then 11 we've already used right here. So that's it. These are my two combinations. I'll make the first ones negative, and we're going to add them together. Negative 1 plus 22 makes 21, and we're looking for negative 9, so that's out. Negative 2 plus 11 makes positive 9, and no, we want negative, so I'm going to switch the signs. Positive 2 and negative 11 makes negative 9. That's what we want. So these are my two numbers. We're going to do two sets of parentheses. Our letter is F, so we're going to start with F. Since 2 is positive, we're going to do plus 2. And since 11 is negative, we're going to do minus 11, and there's my factors. So quick review, you take the last number, break it down to all its multiples. Two numbers you can multiply to make that one. Add them together, and it should make this middle term right here. Once you find the two numbers to add together to make the middle term, you just do two sets of parentheses, start them with your letters, and then put these two numbers after them. If you want to check and make sure that your answer is correct, then you can distribute. So I can take this f and multiply by f and get f squared. I can do f times negative 11, get negative 11f. I can do 2 times f, which would be 2f. And I can do 2 times negative 11, which is negative 22. I could combine the two middle ones. I get f squared. Negative 11 plus 2 is negative 9f minus 22. And there is the exact same thing we started with. So I know this has to be correct in my answer.